Imagine you were informed that you and your majorettes were going to be able to go to Washington, D.C. to perform for President Obama's second inauguration. Of course, this would be an exciting experience for you, and it would open up your views and your possibilities. This is a case for Hadiya Pendleton. She was able to go to President Obama's second um, inauguration. But 1 week after, she was brutally murdered, basically at a park just down the street from her high school. Hadiya Pendleton was among a vast array of friends, a group of friends, and they were trying to seek shelter under a canopy because in Chicago it is known for its rainy days. And it started raining when two gunmen opened fire on her and her friends. Hadiya Pendleton unfortunately was shot in her back and died less than an hour later after the attack. Eventually, the Chicago Police Department was able to identify the two suspects. One of them was Michael Ward, who was 18 years old, and the other is Kenneth Williams, who was 20 years old. They both are said to have gang affiliation. When asked and questioned by police, one of them did admit to the shooting and did say that it was basically a retaliation for a previous shooting on the other member. With this situation, you can see that it is gang related, but it makes you wonder what type of factors involve this incident. And the main factors that I believe involve the incident is the environment, of course, the gang affiliation, the education of the individuals itself. There could be family issues as well as peer pressure. We all know that peer pressure is very well affiliated with gangs. People have the ability to do more as a group than they would do individually, which I do believe is the issue. People need to be accepted. And that could also stem from family issues. There could be issues at home where an individual doesn't feel accepted, doesn't feel needed, and they seek that somewhere else. And they seek the family within a gang, even though it's not a positive family or situation, it is a bond that they feel that they lack, and they feel like being in a gang is something that will help them with that. As far as the education and environment goes, I do believe Chicago has had a lot of shootings recently. Basically, in this year alone, there has been 42 deaths in Chicago in January. Last year, there was over 500 homicides in Chicago. So it is definitely an issue. Gun control and gang affiliation is an issue in Chicago. Now, as far as the individuals that were in this murder, I do believe that it is the gang affiliation that caused this. I do not believe that it was something that they wanted to do or partake in, but once you are in an environment where retaliation is something that you seek, that street life, that becomes the way of your life. And I think that's what caused the issue. However, even though Hadiya Pendleton, I think, was murdered in a brutal way, it is sad for a parent to have to lose a child. I do believe her murder is not for an uncaused reason. I feel like her murder is basically bonding the community together. As we know, Chicago is home to our dear president, and this issue, especially him being able to have just met this individual and know the potential, has influenced him as well as our government to really understand that we need to have a little bit more control over the gun and the gang violence, not only in Chicago but worldwide. In closing, I do believe that the gang affiliation and issue within this case has to do with those factors. The environment, the gang affiliation, being with the environment, the education or the lack of, and also family issues and peer pressure. I believe if those individuals had somebody to reach in and had hope for themselves, they wouldn't have that issue. Thank you.